Well, hi everyone, MARKCHES here. Welcome to the channel. For today's video, I'll be comparing two of the top basketball sneakers from Li-Ning and WOW11. Of course, they're actually sister companies. Li-Ning is the mother company and WOW11 is the sub company similar to the Jordan brand from Nike. And Li-Ning, of course, has the JB3 as its main signature basketball sneaker. It's the most expensive one from Li-Ning, while on the WOW11, this is also the most expensive one from WOW11. So both have very similar tech specs, but there's some variation on how they perform, the shape of the sneaker that will make or break in terms of performance. And hopefully this video will help you choose which one is for you or which one is better. But for the more technical details about each of these two sneakers, I'll be putting the performance review maybe up here or down in the description below, where you can get the more detailed performance review of each. All right, but right now we're talking about the main difference, just like the materials. For example, for the upper, the materials on the WOW11 is like straight up leather, synthetic leather from the toe area to the back part of the sneaker, and there's a higher stack here in the ankle. So if you want more ankle protection, the WOW11 or the WOW11 is a little bit higher. The Jimmy Butler 3 is actually lower in terms of the ankle height if you're into that. And of course, the tongue part, I would say they're pretty much similar, but there's some more perforation on the tongue of the WOW11 to make it a little bit more breathable. But on the upper material, it feels like the WOW11, when I was playing with it, it's warmer, especially around the toe area of the sneaker compared to the toe area of the JB3, because when I'm putting my hand inside, there's more lining, like there's two linings on the WOW11, so ventilation I'll go with the JB3s. Plus there's no bungee cords going down to the footbed around the tongue part, so it's easier to put your foot in on the JB3s. And when I was playing with it, I could really feel that the JB3's material is a lot thinner compared to the WOW11. But if you're someone who likes more maximalist feel, like there's a lot of materials hugging your foot more, the WOW11 will give you that. Plus the comfort, in terms of comfort level, I will say pretty much the same. The tongue, I like the tongue of the WOW11 a bit more because it's like a neoprene type material, while the JB has just the padding around the tip of the tongue, but on the lower part it's just like a fabric. There's not much padding, but there's no discomfort there whatsoever. But in terms of ventilation, I will give it to the JB3 because it's a lower cut sneaker. Both have ample ankle protection and heel cupping. They're very comfortable around the heel, and they have a pull tab on the WOW11, none here on the JBs, but it can open up really nicely here on the JB3s, while the 11s pretty similar, but it has a higher stack color, so not much drastic difference between the two. But let's check out this is where I'm kind of surprised. It's like the JB3 has a more ample or a better shaped insole compared to the ones on the WOW11, which has just a very flat, but it's very comfortable around your foot. I think this is also boom material for both. In terms of thickness, the thickness on the WOW11 is a bit thicker by just a bit compared to the JB, so step-in comfort quite similar, very comfortable. And for the strobo of the two sneakers, I would give it to the WOW11 because it has that net strobo, so you could really feel when you're pressing it, you could feel the boom cushion, full length boom cushion of the WOW11. That's one of the things that really made it different between the JB3. If you want it to be a subtle, like subtle bounce to the cushion, and the JB3 will give you that, but if you want more impact protection or comfort below your foot, the net strobo of the WOW11 is a little bit better. Like the step-in comfort is really good on the WOW11. The JB3 is not that bad, don't get me wrong, but I like the ones on the WOW11 because on the JB3s, I was wondering why they use the traditional strobo textile instead of just a screen textile like on the WOW11 to give you a better step-in comfort. But yeah, it is what it is. But the JB3 is not that bad either, but in terms of toe-to-toe, you will like the step-in comfort more on the WOW11s. That's one thing that you will observe on the WOW11 is the comfort level when you put your foot in. It's really good. It's very plush. The boom cushion, you would immediately feel it right on the get-go on the WOW11 compared to the JB3, which you need to break it in a bit because of the carbon fiber plate. It feels like a little bit stiffer on the JB3s. There's a little bit more rigidity around the midfoot rather, but here when I'm bending it, it's bending around the middle part, while on the WOW11 it's more around this toe area. Interesting. So that's why maybe that's what I felt on the JB3. It has a better heel-to-toe transition when you're running up and down the floor because the bending of the carbon fiber is around the middle here. So when you're running, I think it's a little bit better when you're striding, when you're running. While on the WOW11, it's more on the forefoot. So it bends a bit more here rather than here. So I like the feeling of the bending of the carbon fiber on the JB3 in the middle compared to the WOW11s. And of course, one major difference that I think this is the make or break between these two, why I prefer the other one, is because of the shape of the sneaker. The WOW11 has sometimes, I don't know, sometimes I think it's on how I lace the sneaker. So I have to be always cautious on how I lace it because sometimes if I overlace it around the midfoot, there will be some discomfort around the lateral part of the WOW11s because it's kind of narrow in that area. So that's too bad. It's too unfortunate because I really like how it feels on my foot, but just on the lateral part is that where you feel that discomfort on the WOW11. But you can fix that while really paying attention on how you lace the WOW11s. But that's not what usually happens in real life. So when you put your sneakers, when you're playing, you just tighten it up and you won't go to each level first before you tighten it up. So that's kind of irritating at times. But on the JB3, they fixed the shape of it, or it's a completely different last, of course, because this is a different line. There's no problem. You just tie it up, just tighten the sneaker and you're good to go. You won't have any problems like on the WOW11, similar to the Encore version of the All City 12. Yeah, I think the All City 12 Encore also has the same last with the WOW11. So that's one thing that I really like on the JB3s is I didn't have any type of discomfort on that area, and it feels like there's more room space for your feet on the JB3s because of a different last. So if you're a wide footer, I would say go get the JB3s because it has more toe space, midfoot space, so it's easier to adjust the fit of the sneaker on the JB3s. Now let's move on, of course, to the boom cushion. Let's go back there. I would say the boom cushion on the WOW11 has more impact protection compared to the springier ones on the JB3. The JB3's boom cushion feels like the WOW10 boom cushion, similar, very similar, I would say, in that aspect. While on the WOW11, they made it a bit more impact protection on this one, and the width of the sneaker is way wider on the WOW11. Look how the forefoot part of the WOW11 is protruding on the lateral part, so it's ultra stable. That's one of the things that I love about the WOW11. It's very, very stable. Even if you're very shifty, you would like the base of it. You like the flow of the stability. It's not too flat on the floor. And when you're running up and down the floor, it has a very nice curve shape on both. But if you're just running up and down the floor a lot, and stability is not that your real problem, the JB3 heel-to-toe transition when you're running up and down the floor is amazing. Feels like a Westbrook sneaker. It's kind of decoupled, so it gives you that feeling that it has a very nice cradling when you're running up and down the floor. While the WOW11 is more for shiftier player who wants stability, and for a jump shot, you would also like the WOW11s because of how stable it is. Both are low to the ground, but I would say the WOW11 is a little bit lower compared to the JB3s. But both are very responsive sneakers. It's not high. You feel very quick on both sneakers when you're playing, and that's what I love about these two sneakers. Now let's go on to the traction, which I think I would say they're pretty much the same. Both have the GCU rubber compound, which is amazing on almost all types of floor. Dusty floor, no problem. Of course, on a very clean court, this will be amazing. And both didn't pick up that much dust didn't have a problem, even though both patterns or grooves are not that deep, but didn't have any problems on the traction. So I would say tie on the traction of both sneakers. So for the sizing of both sneakers, this is a US 11. I think, yeah, both US 11. Even on the JBs, let me check on, I forgot what size. Oh, the JBs, I got a 10.5. While on the WOW11s, it's true to size because, yeah, I think I remember because it was narrow around the midfoot. So if I went half a size down rather, it will be a little bit tighter around the midfoot. So JB3, you can go half a size down, 10.5 for me for regular footer. But if you're a wide footer, go true to your size. But for a WOW11, go true to your size and half size bigger. Did I say that right? Half size down on the JB3s, and wide footer, go true to your size. So that's it on my comparison. These prices are actually almost the same, 13,000 on the JB3s right now, while on the WOW, I think pretty much the same, 14. So it's very expensive on these two sneakers. And if you can wait, you can wait for their sale, but right now still not on sale. But they are awesome performing sneaker. So let's just weigh it in. I'll just put the insole back. So on US 11, on the WOW 11, I remember this is really light, 400 grams on the WOW 11, 402 to be exact. While on the JB3s, it's at 10.5. Put the insole in. For the weight of the JB3s, 10.5, it's 396. So I would say they're pretty much the same in terms of the weight. They're very lightweight in terms of the support that you'll be getting, the performance and materials. They're pretty lightweight. I'm quite surprised with that because I think the rubber is really light too, and the boom cushion is also very light. So let me know which one do you prefer, the JB3s or the WOW11s. Hit me a comment down below. Tell me your reason. And this has been MARKCHES once again. Thank you for dropping by the channel. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.